Yes. Yes.
You can. Okay. So can you see my mouse?
Yes.
Okay. So this is an overall picture here of what this whole area has been impacted by the Cone Road project. And so this area highlighted in red is the Cone Road project area. And this is where all the leaky septic tanks are and what we're getting rid of. But I wanted to give you the whole perspective of the area. We have expanded this ridge pond. We've created this new bioswale. This is a 3-stage treatment system now, and we're now collecting and treating stormwater and eliminating the septic tanks from this Cone Road area, which went directly right out into the lower Sykes Creek Banana River area, which then goes out to Newfound Harbor. And if you look, this is looking south, you can see at the very, very distance there, the tip of Merritt Island and where it merges into the Indian River. So you can see the impact of this area directly into our system. This is a beautiful partnership. This project was originally envisioned many, many years ago. Phase 1 of the project was actually finished probably towards the beginning and end of 2016, 2017. It included the elimination of probably 28 to 30 septic tanks in the Magnolia Tropical Trail area on Merritt Island. Phase 2 and 3 was the big, more complicated issue. We filled an existing ditch along the north side of Cone Road, did the stormwater diversion into the Merritt Ridge Pond, bioswale construction, and the septic to sewer conversion of 60 tanks. This partnership is unlike any one that I know of in Brevard County. Through the support of the Brevard County Board of County Commissioners, we have been partially funding this project through the Merritt Island Redevelopment Agency. Our grant partners, the St. John's River Water Management District, the FDEP, the Save Our Indian River Lagoon Project, Brevard County Public Works did a very hefty part of the project of the construction. And then the implementation by the Brevard County departments has been wonderful. Natural Resources, County Finance, Brevard County Utilities, the Building Department, all the permits and inspections. And then, of course, our Florida Department of Environmental Health, those people that have to deal with our inspections on the septic systems. So here's a picture of the ugly and dangerous ditch along the north side of Cone Road. This is what it looked like in 2012 with the ugly outfall pipes just kind of hanging in the air. The slope that came right off the road right-of-way was about 12 to 15 feet, very dangerous. This ditch captured about 109 acres of stormwater, which was both residential and commercial runoff. When they excavated the ditch, they had to open it up. You can see all the pipes from all the stormwater from the industrial area there to the left running out to the ditch and going out to the Banana River. On the right here is a picture of when they had actually filled it in and where they were starting to tear up the road to put the sanitary sewer down the middle of the road. This is where they'd actually excavated all of the ditch and they had the road closed looking west. This all took place during 2019. So we kicked it off October 18th in 2018 and they finished October 2019. So from there, we went on to getting rid of our septic and sewer. You know, after we got the sewer big trunk line down the road, we knew we had to get the tanks off. So in late 2019, we knew that construction had not been delayed, which was very thankful. Thank God we did not have any hurricanes in 2019 that held up construction. So we were able to get the tanks and we were ready. So we held a big open house. We got the word out. It was very well attended. We had about 56 property owners we had to get in touch with. We had about 30 people show up to our open house. It was very, very well attended. We had direct mailings. We had press releases. We did articles in the newspaper. Brevard Delivers, the county's annual report, quarterly report actually. We did quite a bit of reach out. We did site visits, we walked the streets, we contacted plumbers individually, we did quite a bit of work. So as it moves through 2019, November 25th is when we actually were able to declare the system ready. That was ready at Thanksgiving. Tough time to get started, but we went out, we got it started. November 25th was actually the day that we said, okay, everything ready, set, go. You've got 365 days from this time period to work on your abandonment of your tank and connect to sewer. So we had everybody staged and ready. We had plumbers ready in the area. And fortunately, within just a short period of time, we actually had our first connection December 12th. And that was really great. I was really happy about that. And things that went really right, the ability for the small plumbers to mobilize quickly in the area and get some signs out. I didn't particularly like the ones that said switch to septic to city sewer for free. That's really had a lot of things wrong with it, but at least they got their signs out and their numbers. There was about 4 or 5 that stayed busy in the area, so that worked out really well for all of us. This is just going back to show you again about the street. In July, this is where we were. Again, we didn't have any bad delays during the construction process. So December, we had our first connection. January, after the holidays, people were still feeling good. Things were going okay. Construction was finished. Everybody was feeling okay. Construction's done. We're ready to, keep going. Everybody was still positive. And then we started to hit COVID. And that caused kind of a stuttering for the process. Most of the year through May, there was just a hesitation. A lot of people had really gotten started, but then the ones that had not gotten started really didn't want to do anything because they had started to get impacted by, if they weren't impacted because of the closings, people they worked with or people they were serving had been impacted. So there was a little bit of a stuttering, but nevertheless, as we were heading into August this year, we had more than 65% of the property owners hooked up. Again, very much a success. So just to recap, and this is as of this week, I want to just recap what we've done. So as of phase 2 and 3, we were able to fill that nasty ditch and put the new sidewalk in. We have a shoulder right away where that big slope was. So there's the safety right there. We repaved the road with the new sanitary sewer line, and we provided a new fence, which wasn't there before. So here's the recap here, before and after. Much safer, much, much better for the area. And again, all those big streets with the new sewer lateral connections, that's what we're working on now. And I'm happy to say, as of today, we only have 7 properties left that need to hook up. So I'm going to go back now and just show you that bioswale. This is as of July. You guys toured it last year. This is the basin. This is where the ditch is now all going. All that water that was draining those 109 acres is now diverted into this 3-stage treatment system. This now gets treated before it goes into the Banana River. This Merritt Ridge Pond here was expanded. Now treats about 221 acres. Eliminates 2,500 pounds of nitrogen, 800 pounds of phosphorus. We saw some wading birds and migratory birds actually using the shallow water shelf areas for foraging this year, so that was great. So the success of the project, what went right? It was just a small, succinct area that was manageable, 55 property owners, I'm still working on the number of tanks. I think there's as many as 69 tanks. They were 40 years old. Some of them were older. Some of them were illegal. We're getting them all off the system, so that's great. We had really great supporters, local. We had people in the community that really wanted this to happen. And they would call and say, okay, what's next? And I would be able to say, okay, I need everybody to do this. And they would go out and tell everybody. So that was really great. It wasn't hard to get the word out because I knew who I needed to reach. We took the process, we took our grant agreements and told everybody what was happening ahead of time. We had legal review and finance review our agreements ahead of time so that when they saw them, they knew what they were going to get. We prepared other departments that this was going to come and it was going to come fast and that we had a deadline so that we could get our grant paperwork done. Again, I mentioned construction scheduled, and it finished on time. We had no major delays, no hurricanes. Our grant administrators have been fantastic to work with, and everybody's been really, really patient. I can't say that enough. Again, 7 properties left to connect. We've had 99% participation in the program. We've got 55 that are abandoned and connected to sanitary sewer signed over to COCO already, COCO Water. From your program, Sorrel has actually, my numbers are approximate, $185,000 has been paid by Sorrel program to connect the utility connection fees, and about $273,000 is reimbursed through our grant partners to the property owners for their expenses to abandon the septic tanks and connect to the sanitary sewer system. So that's just fantastic. And the program has been so successful with so much participation that our grant partners have graciously extended our deadlines through the calendar year so we can get those 7 and get the rest of the people connected. So what could have gone better? Even the most experienced plumbers and contractors get lost in the number of permits, the number of inspections. So even despite our best efforts with checklists and different requirements and a lot of hand-holding, there were some missed inspections, and so there was a little bit of delays. So all we can do is reduce the number of inspections to make that process go easy. It's hard. There were 4 different county agencies and state agency that the plumbers and property owners had to work through. I became the person that answered the phone, and I was, are you that lady that handles the septic on Merritt Island? Yeah, I'm that person. Are you the lady that's handling that project in Cone Road? Yeah, I'm that girl. Do you know anything about septic? Yeah, I'm that person. So I became the person that answered all the questions, whether I knew it or not. So you kind of have to have a central person to help people out and direct them in the right place. And so that went okay. That was fine. What could have gone better? We could have not done this during a pandemic. But overall, I think we got through it okay. What would we do differently? We would need an online application portal. I did jump out ahead of this. I identified everybody that I knew was going to come, and I made files way back in December, and I kind of knew who was going to come. But if you have a lot of people that are going to do this process, I would recommend an online portal. I get finance to do fast pace, so you don't have to worry about doing purchase orders, issue them back reimbursement checks. That's really difficult. Collect all your forms in advance. Standardize your application forms for people so that when you review them, you know what you're looking for, and make your requests in one batch if possible. It's just easier for all of them. So, and then you got to keep your sense of humor. So I found myself coming in the morning, and again, they don't know who to call. So I had lots of really strange voicemail messages. So I got this one message one day, and this is what it sounded like on the phone. And I think they were looking for their septic tank. And so this is kind of what it sounded like. It was, just a voicemail message. They didn't identify themselves. It was just kind of this message. And I'll just let you read that. It was just, it was where? And they were in the field trying to find their septic tank. And that's kind of how it went. These are very old platted lots that were single family. And they went to light industrial, commercial, and it's a hodgepodge out there with no parking lots, no stormwater, very little room, and a lot of them were parking and had built right on top of their septic tanks. So it's been a challenge, but overall, I would call this project a success. There you are, and I'll take questions.